Oh my god. Anyone else forget this game existed? Not Rome Total War, just Rome Total War Remastered. Hello, Mr. Timothy, and welcome back to Nostalgia November, the month where we look back at a few of the games on the channel we've played, a few of the mods, and go back and see how they do it. Now, I ain't really expecting Rome Total War Remastered to have changed, but it is nice to go back every now and again and do a bit of roaming. And the original Rome Total War is one of my favorite Total Wars ever released. Maybe even my favorite. It's the one I have the most nostalgia for, and I think it's probably one of the first games I ever even put onto my Steam. Rome Total War Remastered came out a little while back, a few years at this point actually, and then was promptly forgotten. I actually played a lot of it when it came out, and I did quite a few videos on the channel, and then that was it. I genuinely forgot they even did this. And, you know, some people have their complaints about it. It does change a bit about the graphics and stuff like that, but I actually still kind of like it. And the things they've added is pretty minimal. A lot of the stuff is either toggleable, like the new unit variations, where you can actually go ahead and change the unit graphics settings to actually be more realistic, or you can go ahead and set them to be how they are in the original game, which, well, let's just say isn't very realistic. Yes, which Rome are you? Are you the red Roman, the green Roman, or the blue Roman? Now, personally, my favorite was always the Brutii. The green were the best. Just look at this guy. You know he's down for business. Of course, I'm going to use my bias and play green Roman today. Here we are. Doesn't it look just as beautiful as you remember it? So like I said, they have updated the game. It is actually a pretty thorough remaster, but that doesn't mean that things don't still look terrible. Hopping straight in the game, we start with the mission to take Apollonia, and we start with a pretty sizable army from all our provinces that should make it pretty easy for us. So we start with our wonderful faction leader, Tiberius Brutus, and he's going to show the world that he means Brutus business. And whilst I don't think we really need to fight the Battle of Apollonia, it's tradition on this channel, the first battle in a Total War game we always play. Alright, you can tell these fellows mean business. They got wolf hats on and mini skirts. Little army's getting a bit stuck over here in these narrow streets, so we're gonna do the old strat of going around and creating a larger sandwich. Here you go, it's a wonderful, delicious, sweaty Roman sandwich. There we go, the first province we have taken. We can now build in it and also recruit men in it later. Wow, I've been gifted 10,000 denarii, which, if you don't know, denarii is kind of like the old-termy currency that they use. Just imagine V-Bucks. Step in our grand conquest, we are taking down the Greeks. Okay, hold on a second, I just took this town, and then the AI bribed my town and has taken it over. We're gonna have a chat, Macedonia. Okay, well, it's time to start a new war. I'm gonna put it out there that technically, these guys did start this. I'll say, if there's one thing that feels dated, even in this remaster, it's the pathfinding in these towns. They were terrible back then, and they're still terrible now. I think especially if you're playing on the larger unit size, things just do not fit. I mean, sieges were always, you know, a little bit jank in Total War games, but this one feels very jank. I ain't even sure what's going on anymore, but one of my cavalry guys was just chilling in the middle of them there, and they're just ignoring my guys, just slapping them with their swords. The game may be showing its age currently, but it's still good, okay? Trust me. They appear to be sieging me back now, which isn't good. Those are two large armies. I'm sure it'll be fine. We just gotta beat them separately and get out of this building as soon as we can. That's so cool. They've all brought their own little torches, because it is technically a night battle. It's going to be our first proper pitch battle that isn't just a siege. We're going to go ahead, try to lure their cavalry into us, and then as soon as we've got a couple spears in their front right there, we're going to get our cavalry and then get them around the back. Scratch that, he's already running away. Okay, so they're using hoplites, and weakness to them, all right, they're pretty good at the front, you know, there's a big spear, but if you get around the back, there's no big spear. is. Okay, they did break my left flank pretty badly there, and our units took hell of a beating, but it was worth it. Took quite a few casualties in that battle, but when we get to writing this down on whatever we write things down on at this current time period, we'll just fudge the numbers a bit. That second army, though, isn't really looking too good. It's mostly just skirmishers, and I think my cav's going to be able to take care of this pretty quickly. Yeah, we're just going to take them front on. We're going to send the cavalry around the flanks to start picking off their skirmishers, and this should be pretty easy. This one definitely went better than the other one. That's them pretty broken. Well, Tiberius Brutus is dead. Our new leader is Aulus Brutus. Aulus? I'm not too sure. You may notice a big skull above this little town. Don't worry, just means they really love heavy metal, and they definitely don't have to play. Okay, and with this siege down here, that is Greece pretty much conquered. I don't know how many more provinces the Macedonians have. I see one more up here, which I'm going to immediately march on and take out. Okay, Nero the Brave, always a good sign to have a Nero on your side as a Roman. And will Nero's siege be the end of the Macedonians? Let's see. No. Okay, they've got a city somewhere. I'm not too sure where. I see them moving over here, so yeah, it's over here somewhere. I never used ballistas in these games. I have no idea if they're any good. Let's take a little peek and see if they actually... Well, to be fair, it's going to be hard to really tell because these poor guys are getting so many spears to the face. I'll use the fire ballista. That way we can actually see it. There you go. It missed. For these Macedonians forever. They're over here. Of course, as soon as I arrive, somebody else sieges it. My first heroic victory there. They took out 200 of my guys. I took out 3,000 of theirs. Of course, we will be adding a extra 0 on that number for them in the history books when we get to them. Okay, now that should be the Macedonians gone. No, they're still alive. Surely this is the last Macedonian city. I have hunted them through the desert. Surely this is it. There you go, nice bit of rain just in there. Okay, now that should be the last Macedonian city. And to celebrate, we're going to click this button. That took a little bit longer than expected. Okay, now the last person we are currently fighting is Thrace. We've kicked them out of here, but they got one settlement left over here. Well, I say one. We know how that ended up last time. Okay, there you go. I even got an achievement there. Defeat Thrace. Wow. I'm going to print that one out. Stick it on the fridge. Brother, okay, coming up here was a mistake. Scythia has seen me, and they are coming for my booty. A healthy-looking army right there. Just pure Scythian horse archers for the most part. This one just has 6 guys in it. We're doing pretty well. We've conquered all of Greece, the Balkans, and we've even moved all the way up here. But my grand ambitions now lie with Egypt. Egypt have actually been quite nice to me the entire game, but my new faction leader, Oppius, he's a wildly extremely extravagant glutton Jobsworth, drunkard, careless of his security guy, and he has no damn quarrel. He's also absolutely scared of everything germ-wise. He doesn't even know what a germ is yet, but he's scared of them. As such, this man is crazy enough to break the peace and alliance that we've had with Egypt for quite a damn 100 years. At the same time, Pontus, who have expanded quite a lot over in Anatolia, have just landed on Crete. And that's a little bit suspicious. Hello, Egypt. I've come to see the big triangle. Ever thought about putting a Bass Pro Shop on that thing? Maybe the gods aren't too happy about me betraying the Egyptians, because that seems a little bit specific. After a successful conquest of Egypt, Oppius died. Probably of some disease. It's the only available general we have right now for this army. That is not... Why'd you go for the suicide profile, bro? It's safe to say the Egyptians were one hell of a pushover. I think it might be because they're fighting Pontus up here, and that appears to be where all their focus is. Now, something that hasn't been mentioned before, and I've even said it on this channel, but Egypt's pretty funny in this game, because it actually is technically a alt history game. But the alt history is, what if Egypt never went past the Bronze Age? Yeah, you actually have no reason to buy Total War Pharaoh, because you can actually just play this game and have the same unit. I think I actually remember reading an interview about why they did it, and it was simply because they wanted to add some unique factions and not just have another Greek faction, which... yeah, I kind of get it, but it is also funny watching Bronze Age warfare in this game. The Bronze Age warfare doesn't also equate to Bronze Age tactics, but the AI just doesn't seem to be able to handle whatever's happening to them right now. Yeah, I don't think their infantry even made it to my line there. My archers took care of them pretty quickly. Yeah, we really can call that a honorable victory. But it is still a victory. Our brave army has destroyed another Egyptian, quote-unquote, army. Also, just noticed my brave bull general is currently hiding inside the walls. You know, Pontus has a pretty large army. I think I may have to deal with this. Well, they actually attacked me first. Kind of unfortunate for them, I guess, because I've just moved 2 large armies to come deal with them. Pontus's armies are so huge because they're just filled up with spearmen. If I mentioned this, but there are certain wonders on the map that actually give you buffs if you take them. And I always found it funny that all the wonders were exactly where all the green Romans would expand into. So currently I hold every single one of them, and I also just got an achievement for doing that. Sadly, in all this barbarian land the rest of my allies are expanding into, not a lot of culture, huh? If you zoom in, that is the West Midlands right there. A lot of culture will take place there. Also, it still looks like that to this day. We look back at our capital in a very long time, and noticed quite a lot of crap happening. Yeah, it's safe to say I got quite a few generals and governors all just kind of lying around. I got a whole bunch more over here as well, you know. There you go. I might as well throw all these guys into one army, get them into a battle, lose them all, and just wipe out the entire nobility. So the Senate absolutely hates me, but the people, they love me, which tends to end up being a bit of a dangerous combination. With the defeat of Pontus and our empire now covering the entire east, I mean, I think it's only fair that we also control the capital of Rome. And we can march right into Rome and demand that they make us the coolest guy ever. Yeah, it's the official title I would like. I forgot, if I actually attack Rome directly, it just crashed me to desktop. I have to attack one of their little armies or else it doesn't work. Rome's actually coming out to fight me. Lucius the Cunning. They do have some really good units, but I think we got it. We also brought our heavy onagers along with us, and they got 2 guys. Yeah, we destroyed the force they brought out of the city pretty quickly with quite a few casualties, but nothing spectacular, and now it's just a case of mopping up what's left. We've also taken control of the walls so we can just fire on down at them, and they well, they're just going to take it. It got a little painful at the end, but we did it, and a lot of casualties too. But Lucius the Cunning has beaten Quintus the Philosopher. But with it, Rome has been destroyed, and in its place, I've created Green Rome. But before we go, might as well send my generals in for one last charge. Be no strategy here. We will just send all of our family and aristocrats, bureaucrats, everyone in charge of the country into their front line. It's not really a tactic or really helps that much. It's just more of a statement on how much I hate family gatherings. There you go, like some sort of extra inbred Mongol horde. But there you go. We could carry on now and defeat the blue and the red Romans, but there's really no point. I've done everything I wanted to do. I've been playing for 2 days now and enjoyed my green campaign. Look how green it's all looking. And as usual, I say I definitely enjoyed Rome Total War. The remaster, again, I like it a lot. They added a nice bit of quality of life in a lot of it, and it still plays and feels like the original. It's just a shame they didn't release one of these for other games that we really want to have the same treatment. But yes, I hope you enjoyed this nostalgic look at Rome Total War in the year 2024, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like, subscribe down below. Tell me what you want to see me play next. But goodbye.